Mellow greetings, everybody. My name is James. I am from the internet, and today we are going to be talking about the police. That's right, the Popo 5-0, Johnny on the spot, the armed wing of the government that forces compliance from the working class. I mean, we go with your thing too, but now I know it's been a busy couple of months out there in the news between the stonk wars, the insurrection, man, bear, pig, Biden winning the election, Trump actually leaving the fucking White House. It's been a busy couple of months. And I feel like we haven't really checked in on our friends, the local constabulatories lately. I wonder what they've been up to.
A 9-year-old girl handcuffed and pepper sprayed by police in Rochester, New York. We'll show you the video. I do want to warn you ahead of time. It is disturbing. It happened last week. Police have just, though, released the body camera videos of it. Here is what happened before the pepper spray.
I want my dad!
You're not gonna run off.
I want my dad!
Stop.
I want my dad!
Officers were called to a home on the afternoon of January 29th for a report of family trouble. The officers were told that the girl was suicidal and that she had indicated that she wanted to kill herself and she wanted to kill her mom, the deputy chief explained after the incident. The girl tried to flee from officers, and a video released by police shows an officer chase her and attempt to provide assistance. Yeah, a lot of these buzzwords sound very familiar. Afterward, her mother arrived and the body camera video shows the two arguing. Officers then decided to remove the child from the situation and transport her to an area hospital. That reads just like a Tim Pool video title solely based on an article that is a complete replication of a police press release. The officers decided to remove her from the situation. It sounds like the parent of the child did not consent to have their child removed from the situation. The parent merely called for help. And all of a sudden, an entire armed SWAT team shows up to chase a 9-year-old girl down the street who's obviously freaking out because, I don't know, there's a whole fucking SWAT team chasing her. The girl refused to get inside a police vehicle, thrashed around, and kicked an officer, knocking his body camera around. Uh-oh, look out. A 9-year-old kicked a body camera of a police officer. I wonder what's coming next. Quote, "It didn't appear as if she was resisting the officers. She was trying to not be restrained to go to the hospital. As the officers made numerous attempts to try to get her in the car, an officer sprayed the young child with OC spray to get her in the car." Yet that means 2 full-grown cops took a handcuffed 9-year-old child, pushed her into the back of a car, and then shot her in the face with pepper spray. Why? Because they're the police.
Just there at this point. There.
I want to again reiterate that this was a 9-year-old child. A parent called the police and said, "Help, we're having some problems with our 9-year-old daughter." They didn't send over a family counselor. They didn't send somebody who was trained in de-escalation or child psychology or family issues. They sent over armed police in squad cars. And the 9-year-old child predictably acted the way a 9-year-old child will. And so the police reacted to her the way the police normally will. They chased her around, they threw her onto the ground, they handcuffed her, they tossed her into the back of a car, and they pepper sprayed her in the face in point-blank range. Most normal people would call that abhorrent. The police, well, they just call that shit Monday. The body camera video shows the girl repeatedly crying out for her father while being physically restrained by officers. She's seen screaming before her head is held down against the snow-covered ground and is handcuffed. A struggle ensues between the girl and officers as they attempt to get her inside the back of a police vehicle. At one point, one officer says, "You're acting like a child." "I am a child," the girl responds. Later in the video, a female officer is seen talking to the girl, eventually saying, "This is your last chance. Otherwise, pepper spray's going in your eyeballs." See? Isn't police abuse so much kinder and gentler when it's a woman dishing it out? Well played, police. Well played. Covering your ass on the identity politics rage. About a minute later, another officer can be heard saying, "Just spray her at this point." The female officer is seen shaking a can that appears to be pepper spray, and the child continues to scream. The officers involved in the incident were not identified by police, nor were the child or her mother. The police said on Sunday that the department is looking at a culture change and that they're in the process of reviewing many policies and looking to make changes. Yet that's police code for "we're gonna say we're working on it just in case you uppity folk decide to come out and protest us and make our lives mildly inconvenient. We can't possibly be having that now, can we? Look, we already said we're going to investigate ourselves. I mean, of course, we're going to find ourselves guilty and..." Checks notes. Do nothing. For those of you who have ever seen an incident of horrible police savagery or abuse caught on video, this is the part of the script we're on. It's Act 2 of a 4-act play. This is the part where the police act concerned. Then they're going to investigate themselves, maybe a mayor or a congressman or even a senator. Well, get some people together and form a commission to really take a hard look at the culture within the police. They might even make the police get some mandatory training. And after the cops sit in a room for 4 hours and watch a video called "Your Inner Child and You," well, then everything's going to be fine. Now, of course, the sensible thing here would be to, have fewer police officers and have more people trained in de-escalation and child psychology and family issues, rather than having a bunch of armed goons whose reaction to a 9-year-old child is to deploy military chemicals into their eyeballs. So yeah, good to see the police haven't changed one iota, even though Biden's in the White House. Now, speaking of President Joe Biden, this beckons the question, will Joe Biden actually do anything about this? Let's be honest, Obama had a chance to take this issue on himself, and he punted on it also. And that was after having multiple police murders caught on video. Eric Garner, Tamir Rice, Freddie Gray. Obama could have made it happen. No. He had some investigations. He had Holder look at some people. He had a couple of cities' police departments form second review committees of themselves to maybe possibly change their internal policies. But at the end of the day, he didn't do anything. So I'm thinking it would be kind of ridiculous to think that Biden would change it, right? Well, just a few weeks ago, Biden was busted on a Zoom call telling civil rights leaders that they have to stop calling for the defunding of the police. Whoa. Hey, Jack, listen up. We can't have any of that defunding the police talk, okay there, Jack? We're all about unity now, and unity requires the police beating the shit out of people. That's a thing. Biden went so far to say as anti-police activism is the reason that Republicans, quote, "beat the living hell out of us across the country in November." Biden's suggestion that Democrats face losses due to anti-police activism is shared by other powerful Democrats. Representative Jim Clyburn of South Carolina is among those who share this view. Quote, "Defund the police is killing our party, and we've got to stop it," he told CBS News. Even former President Obama said, "Defund the police" is a snappy slogan that could cost Democrats votes. Now, this is the part of the show where I remind you that every single time there is a large left push that Democrats have to deal with, they shut it down by saying those far left radical ideas cost us votes. This time, oh no, it was defund the police. And the last election cycle, it was the fault of Black Lives Matter. And the election cycle before that, it was the fault of Occupy Wall Street. And this is why the Democrats lose so goddamned always. Despite the persistence of this argument, media critic Adam Johnson pointed out he could find no empirical evidence to support the claim. I couldn't either, as Johnson and co-host Nima Shirazai demonstrate convincingly on their podcast Citations Needed, liberals have historically scapegoated black activists, suggesting that their demands would hinder the electoral chances of the Democratic Party. The host cited a 1964 headline of this trend, quote, Negro extremists aid Wallace, referring to Alabama Governor George Wallace, who was a right-wing segregationist. And another from 1966 that said, quote, failure to stop mobs will cost Democrats votes. See, back then they were calling them mobs. Now mobs are commonplace, so today they call them thugs. The black people. After telling civil rights leaders to wait on calls for police reform until after the Georgia runoffs, Biden promised the civil rights leaders that he would look into issues surrounding policing in a new commission. Quote, I guarantee you there will be a full-blown commission. I guarantee you it's a major, major, major element. Ooh, look out. It's not going to be a regular commission. It's going to be a major, full-blown commission. Hope and change. Now that Democrats have prevailed in the Georgia runoffs, will Biden's administration, with a resounding mandate to act meaningfully, take on the police? No. Yeah, I'd love to be able to take it back, so go ahead, Joe. Prove me wrong. Until then, my name is James. I am from the internet and I am out. Peace.